Hello everyone, I'm TheSparrowsJourney and I'm a mighty pirate. Har har har! We are in the Murray Straits. That was a silly start. Sunless Sea is a game developed and published by Fail Better Games. It could be a better promise with that name, but Fail Better isn't really sound that good. Anyway, this company made Fallen London, which, if memory doesn't fail me, it's a browser-free game, and it's from the same universe than Sunless Sea. Sunless Sea is coming in July 1st of 2014, after being kickstarted on October in 2013. So we're looking at almost 1 year in development after the successful Kickstarter campaign, where they gathered more than $1,000 if I'm not mistaken. Now here in the options there isn't too much to choose from. Also because the game is in 2D, it's not 3D, there isn't much to choose from. You have the quality settings. I believe the game is developed in the Unity engine, as most indie developed games right now. So this is basically what you have. Screen effects. Yes, screen effects. I have no idea what that means, but here we go. And we're gonna start with a new fresh game. Sunless Sea runs the same way as games like Don't Starve or The Escapist, where you can only have one session open each time. We also have the load game function. Each time you dock your ship at a dock, at a harbor, your game will be saved and you can load the game from there. So, starting a new game. Sunless Sea is about story. Story, story, story. And you're a captain of a ship. You want to tell a story and remain remembered for the times to come, the very future times. So you start the game with always a log and your captain's log, where you will write your story and what happens. Fragments, you gain secrets, everything that can be useful in telling a story. So choose a past, or you can also decide later, but we're gonna start right, so we're not rushing anything. So let's decide a past. Who you were and what do you want to be right now? A stretch urchin. This will give you a bonus to veils, the skill of subtlety and evasion. A poet, which will give you a bonus to pages, the skill of trickery and knowledge. Can be a veteran of the campaign of 68. You'll be given a bonus in iron, the skill of causing direct damage. An ordained priest will give you a bonus to hearts, the skill of healing and morale. Or a philosopher, which will give you a bonus to mirrors, the skill of detection and perception. It's important to know what playstyle you will have. What kind of player are you? You want to go full front and fight anyone? You want to go and evade most fights and be sort of a spy captain? You can check here the skills you have or the stats involved in the game. So for starters, you have hearts. Hearts inspire, heal and defend. Sometimes helps with tests around terror. We're gonna go into terror further in detail in the first look. You also have veils, which gives you speed, stealth and deception. Improves evasion abilities in combat. Pages. Esoteric and occasionally practical knowledge. Increases the speed at which you convert fragments to secrets. Mirrors. Detection and perception. Improves illumination abilities in combat. And iron. Destroy. Improves attack damage in combat. So, because I have some knowledge of the game and I want to know, or I already know the playstyle I want to be, I'm gonna go with an ordained priest. Yes, I know, it sounds strange, me as a priest, but I like the bonus into hearts. So I'm gonna go with that, and I will explain it in the future. You have now gained 25 hearts. You now have one Galhide engineer. You also have 10 echoes. Echoes is the currency in the Sunless Sea. You were a fallen priest. Now you're a Z captain. Here we go. What does winning mean to you? Gather 100 tails, or you don't like to be poor and you want to be or want to have a mansion servants, fine clothes, a family, perhaps. Also, all the other paths are locked because they're not available in this build. Let me just say, this build should be even before the one, or should be one as not as much developed as the one that will be on Steam Early Access. I can't confirm this, but I believe all of these paths, or some of these paths, will be available during the Steam Early Access. I'm gonna choose Fulfillment, because a priest, come on, I don't want any wealth. Priests don't care about wealth. So here we go. Our objective is to write a book, to fill pages in that book. So, how do we want to be treated? Madam, worthy captain, choose this than you might expect. Sir, citizen, my lord, my lady, or captain. Obviously, I will go with captain. I don't think this affects your gameplay in any way. More than that, you can choose your portrait. So, I'm a priest, and I'm a good guy. If I was a stealthy guy, I would go with something shady like this, or something funny like this. I'm gonna go with this. It looks like a fine man from the sea. So, TheSparrowsJourney. Here we go. And here's my ship. You start with the very basics of a ship, the most cheapest one that you can start with. And we are in London. London, if you open the map, will be the very center of the map. If you go up, well, now you can't really see much, but if you go up and down, London stays around the middle of the map. And from here you can explore to wherever places you want to go. But Sunless Sea is not an easy game. And so far, what I've been playing from the Sunless Sea, the end of the early access comes with the impossibility of upgrading or progressing even more. Let's go into my gazetteer. This is where the magic happens, basically. This is where your story comes to. This is where you trigger actions, where you manage your ship, where you do most of the stuff, officers, whatever. This guy really looks spooky. Chief engineer, that's one of my crews. Now you have the sailormans, or the sailors, how they call it, because we are in the Z, we are not in the sea, we are in the Z. And you also have like this first lieutenants. You have a cooker, you gotta have a gunnery guy, a surgeon. This should be the engineer, the mechanic for the engine, and a first officer. You also have a mascot. How cool is that? You can also talk to them. When you unlock secrets, you can improve one of these skills according to the engineer or the officer you choose to speak to. So, story, quality of lodgings, your past, ambition, yada yada. You have the shop where you can buy stuff. I'm gonna buy or start by buying some fuel. Now, one of the most important things you can have here in this game is fuel and supplies, which are gone pretty fast if you go and explore the sea. And London is a place where you can buy them at the cheapest price you can. So I'm gonna buy some of them. As you can see, I have pretty low money. I also have, let's see, this is what you can buy for your ship. You can improve your ship, guns, buy things like torpedoes, torpedo nets. We'll go further into that when you get in actually a fight. Here are some other ships, and they are costly as hell. These numbers are the hull damage, the state of your hull, and in here you can see the speed at which you're traveling. The more speed you have, or at the fastest you go, the more fuel will go down. So you can choose, for instance, go always in the first level of speed and spend less fuel, but that's boring as hell, so I almost always go at the second level of speed. So, let's explore a little bit more about London. It's important to know the backstory of the game. Fallen London, why is it called that? Fallen London is a universe in which Sunless Sea is played. Fallen London was that browser game that I mentioned before. We are in some sort of caves, and Sunless Sea, why? Because there's no sun down here. We are exploring the caves. London was taken by bats. It's a deep, dark, and marvelous place. And you have to deal with one more thing. Terror, which is this part over here. The more you stay away from the shore and from buoys, terror starts increasing, and this is your crew terror. If terror reaches a high level, riots begins again, and people start being crazy, and sailors might even kill each other and whatnot. Let's go into London and explore a little bit about London. You can do all sorts of stuff. Offer passage to Tom colonists. I would like to have this quest log where I see my objectives, because there's no really specific objective is in Sunless Sea. Sunless Sea takes inspiration from games like Sid Meier's Pirates or Don't Starve. You don't have a specific goal in Don't Starve, or do you? You just have to survive. That's your main objective. It's the same thing with Sunless Sea. You have to try and complete errand missions that people give you, somewhat randomly, for currency, and keep buying fuel and supplies to survive. So let's go and accept this one. Offer passage to Tom colonists. They are asking, or they are paying, to be taken north to Vanderbilt. So let's accept that. We can still not visit the university because we need secrets. You get secrets, you get pages, you get fragments when the more you explore the game, the more you explore the map. We don't need any more crew. We're good at 8 out of 10. 10 isn't the max crew my ship can hold. Visit the Admiralty's survey office. Let's go and do that and see if they need anything. This is something that I really struggle with Sunless Sea, is looking for things to do, ways of getting echoes. I think they should improve this, and it might be improved in a final build that goes into Steam. So right now, they're looking to get strategic information from Gator's Moon in the Corsair's Forest east of London. Okay, this is one place I've never been into. Let's launch. Let's unpause the game and launch our ship. This is the first level of speed, and we can go and further improve it and go to the second level by pressing W. And here I am exploring. Now you have these buoys over here, and you want to keep your terror. Let's shut up the engine. You want to keep this terror meter down. If it goes high too much, you're pretty much screwed. So I have two missions basically. I have to go north and explore Vanderbilt and take the immigrants there, or I can go further east, should be around here, and take that that strategic intelligence report for London, for the Admiral's London guys. These pins right here are where the boys are located. You want to stick to those, and for instance, you can notice some islands here. You don't want to go from this buoy to this one. In this zone right here, there's a very high terror zone. So you will eventually get a lot of terror, and that's not good. You can risk it, yes, it's your call. I'm gonna play cautious for now and try to show you the most of the game I can. You might even reach the point where you can just not progress any longer. So discovered Low Barnard, 50 fragments gained. Discovered Prickfinger, Wastes, more 50 fragments gained. During your travel you have something here, Z-Bat Search or E-Bat. This is something that you can do just to have hints or where you must explore. For instance, these guys told me, my bats told me that there is a humble island distant to the south. Dust echoes even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the Tom colonies. Discover Davies Bay. Here we go. An exploration game in all its essence. Cannot go into the shore. What you can do is just go into the harbors and dock them there. Each time you do that, you save the game there. And you can explore the island just by trigger actions, but you cannot do it yourself. You can only just navigate with your ship. There's some bats there. I'm gonna most surely be attacked, and I'm gonna lower my speed because I actually want to be attacked for two reasons. First, because I want to show you the combat in the game, but also because they will given me in the end some supplies. Now this is the combat log. There are several actions which you can do, and it's important to know something here very important in the Sunless Sea, which is illumination. We are down deep into the caves, so you cannot see much inside the caves other than what you're trying to light up with your ship. So in the comment log you have what is it's called illumination. So you gotta have these guys illuminated first, and then you can attack them. I have here two types of attacks: salvo and devastating salvo. This one supposedly does more damage, but it requires more illumination. Right now the bats have 0 illumination on them, so I cannot attack them. What I have to do first is going into the illuminate skills and illuminate the bats. There are several ways of illuminating the bats: with flares, with seek. Seek is the most safest illumination skill which you can do and will not have you illuminated. If you throw the flares, not only will illuminate the enemy, but you will also illuminate yourself. You can also have evading skills, which reduces your illumination, this bar over here. And you can also emergency repair your ship. So what I'm gonna do, because I already know what will go on, these bats have the very short life. I have 75 on my hull, and I have 8 crew. If you lose all your crew, needless to say, you lose the fight. If the hull goes down to 0, obviously you lose the fight as well. So what I'm gonna do is going with seek and flares. After that, I should have a good amount of illumination. At least I need at least 50 to cast salvo. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this is sort of a live action, queued actions combat. So I'm gonna unpause the combat and it will start. By the point we reach the salvo, we should have 50 illumination. If we don't, I'm gonna cast again flares. So let's see. Yeah, I couldn't get into 50 illumination. I got to 43 because it's not certain. If I throw some flares, it's not certain I will do that specific amount of illumination. It's like, it's not, I don't want to say random, but it's calculated. So I destroyed the bats. I can do two things. I can either dispose of the corpses, and this will slightly reduce terror, but I have 0 terror. So what you want to do is gather the corpses and have one more supply, which is, in other words, food. So here we go. And pause the game, and starting the engines again. A sailor raises her head, sniffs sharply, blood on the wind. This is not a good sign. Fed the crew. Everything goes written into the captain's log. Here we go, Vanderbite. We've reached the point where we wanted to be. Here are more bats. Okay, I'll take more supplies. You can also, if you didn't notice, I should have explained that by now. Before going into combat, you can also choose to flee, and you have a chance of succeeding or not. Most of the times I fight them because they're not too hard and they give you some supplies, which is always good. You can save on money on echoes. Of course, there's a small risk of having your ship destroyed or your crew gone, but with bots, come on, really must be bad or very bad luck to lose against them. Here we go. There are stronger monsters in the sea. And there's pirates, there's big, huge crabs that you want to avoid right now with this ship. But these bats are rather easy. Let's dock in Vanderbite. Tom Colonies. The Tom Colony of Vanderbite. Can do several things in here. Some of them are locked because you need a certain thing. For this action, for instance, to visit the Grand Curator, you need 1 key of histories. Don't ask me what exactly is that, because there's just not one single stat or currency or resource. There's not just like wood or stone or echoes or wine. There's resources to trade and get money from them. But there's also these strange resources which are called key of histories, fragments, secrets, etc. Let's explore this place. We can make an offer. Drop a coin into the empty offering box and pray to the power of this place, whoever it might be. With 1 echo? Okay, let's go for it. You now have 1 tale of terror. We will be able to spend this tale of terror into something. Whatever that is, it doesn't matter. We now have 5 terror. That is bad, because I'm not too preoccupied with terror, because I have a good amount of hearts, which helps with terror. And we also lost 1 echo. Anything else we can do in here? Gather gossip. Okay, we now have a port report, which should be useful when we reach London. We can sell that port report to the admirals and have some echoes. Can also come into the shop and trade. We don't want to sell that recent news, also because 10 echoes is not much. We want to sell these Tom colonists that we picked up in London. Here we go. This should be the highest price we're going to get from them in the Sunless Sea, in the caverns. Now, what you can do is just explore a little bit more to the north, because the more we explore, the more you get fragments and new stuff to do in Sunless Sea. Or we can go down and go into the east. That's what I think I'm going to do, because I have a mission to go in there and explore the east part of the map. We were not that lucky, actually. There's missions to go into the south, there's missions to go into the north, but we want to go into the east, which is one of the most risk places to go right now at the beginning. Because at the beginning, you want to stay near the shore, and south and north are pretty safe. Going to the east, it's a big pile of islands. And you know, it's hard to make a bridge between these isles without risking too much of terror. And then we have something. The terror of the sea is less here. We are safe because we're near the shore. We discovered Tana Shuk, and we gained some fragments. There, the terror is increasing, but it stopped because we got near the shore. Let's see where we can travel from here. Can try this Moody something isle. There's something over there as well. I'm gonna try that one because it's closer to this isle. Discovered Poor Wall Point. You can also turn off the lights like this. That will further increase the terror. So we want to have the last terror possible. And I found out that turning off lights doesn't really makes the bats go away or any other type of monsters. Okay, we want to stay near these islands because the sailors feel safe near the shore, and they start being terrorized once they are in the deep sea. This is how you want to travel in the Sunless Sea. Always being near the shore, always being near these buoys. We reached a place called Demo Island, Iron and Misery Co-Funging Station. Now, you always have that first initial mission to gather intelligence. I already had one playthrough where I had to gather intelligence here in the Iron and Misery Co-Funging Station. They mine fungus here, not really iron. Okay, tea with a factor. This reduces terror, right? And we gained supplies as well. We lost 1 terror. This was awesome. We gained fragments as well. A matter of luck. We have 60% chance of getting this done. Let's try it. We gained 1 supply. Oh shit. We also gained 2 terror. But we were fortunate in the mission. Now in here, if I was really struggling for fuel or supplies, I could buy some. But they cost 20 echoes. For this price, you can get 2 fuels in, or 2 fuel items in London, so I'm not gonna buy them here. Where do we want to go next? I'm gonna go down here into these islands, and it's gonna be a little bit risky in terror-wise. So some would say that you can, for instance, go into just the first level of speed when you are near the shore, because there's no really urgency of traveling at high speed there, and just go into twice as speed when we are in high deep sea, because we want to get out of there as soon as possible. But screw that, really, going to just the first speed is boring as hell. I'll just keep to the second level of speed. Okay, Shepherd Isles. Nothing too interesting in here. Is that a dock? I think there's a dock here, in this side. This circle of light always indicates it's a dock, and you can dock in there and do several different stuff. I'm gonna dock in here. Here we go, and the game is saved, supposedly. Compile a port report. We want to do that, and take this port report to London. London is that place where you always want to come back into. It's like the center of the world here in the Sunless Sea. Unfortunately, I'm getting really down on fuel, so I'm gonna get back to London, buy some fuel, and try to explore that eastern place that they told me and asked me to explore. That mission gives me around 200 echoes, and that's a lot. That keeps you up in Sunless Sea for a long time, and I must get that done. Unfortunately, I got like the hardest place to explore ever. I need to explore the east. That's pretty difficult to do. You don't want to get into that maelstrom. I once thought that this worked like some sort of Years of Magic in Might and Magic, where you just get into it and you get teleported to a very distant place in the map. But no, what basically happens is that you get your ship destroyed. We don't want that. You also want to avoid that big crab. The smallest ones are easy to take, but these big ones, we still cannot beat them. And I crashed my ship. That was very poor driving skills. This ship right here with that light, you can dock in there, but because there's no ship reports you can get from there, or let's say there's nothing really useful you can do in there, I'm gonna save that spot because that should save the game. I'm gonna fight these pirates, why not? These pirates will give us some money in the end. Oh, come on, fight me! Fight me, pirate! There we go, we got into a fight. This is what I wanted to explain before. Flee, you can try and flee, but we don't have a very big chance of succeeding because we don't have too much reveal skill. So let's go and fight them. I always do this queue, because after all these 2 elimination skills, most of the times I get the necessary elimination to kill them. They're gonna shoot at me. Damn bastards. Okay, one more hit and they should be down. Bam. Pirates are a good source of echoes. You can either loot and scuttle her. Most of the times you don't get a very valuable item. What you can do and try to do is this: send her home with a prize crew. So what you will do is take 3 men from your crew and bring this pirate ship to London, where they will try and sell it. Let's do that. There we go. If you haven't noticed, we lost 3 men. And now we should get back to London after fighting this crab. I'm just gonna keep playing until we eventually have to stop, because it's pretty difficult to survive in the Sunless Sea right now. Collect message from the harbor master. Okay, someone wants to sign in, whatever. And I have a shady guy giving me a little gift. You can either accept or refuse, or we can try and go for further information. The first time I encountered this, I refused because look at the guy. A fucked up eye, a knife on his hands, come on. Are you safe to accept this? Obviously not, so I've refused. But I discovered later on, if you accept it, these guys give you a shitload of fuel and some supplies. So it's always better to accept this, even though the guys look shady and something really terrible might happen in the future. But for now, I really need that to keep going in the game. Can go in right in the room and get our terror down, which we actually need. We have 6 terror. Not too much to worry about. I already have like 60 terror. That's pretty terrible. People start going crazy and whatnot. I'm gonna spend 10 echoes. Screw that. I'm not gonna spend echoes on that. So let's go and Admiral Survey Office, and let's deliver these port reports from Vanderbite. There we go. You gain echoes. We no longer have the port report, and we gain Admiralty's favor. Don't ask me what's that useful for. Okay, let's go and deliver the report for Shepherd Islands. Here we go. We can already speak to a higher authority. This is something you unlock, I think, when you keep delivering reports. We can already visit the university that you can unlock with 1 secret. So let's do that. We have 3 secrets. You can spend secrets in several stuff. For instance, I can unlock the university. I could also speak with his chief engineer and use this secret to improve the veil skill. That's not too urgent right now. So I want to unlock things that I can visit in London. We are now antiquarian. I have no idea what that is, but we can now access the university. So for instance, each time you kill a huge crab, you can bring that hunted trophy here and further analyze it and be rewarded, whatever. Can go into the wolf's docks and repair our ship, but we don't really need much of that. And we can have a new recruit. Let's go and do that. You can either have an expensive guy, which is an officer, a tireless mechanic or genial magician, or a normal sailor. That will increase the crew. We have 5 men, but we will soon have 8 men. I just have to go back and rescue that crew from that pirate ship they brought to London. So what I'm gonna choose is, I already have an engineer. This one is pretty cool. He's an engineer as well, and he gives more stats than this one. This is the one I started with. So I'm gonna go for something different and go with a genial magician. I'm gonna spend 50 echoes. We're cool on fuel, so let's go and have that. Going into the officer's tabs, I'm gonna... Oh, come on. He also uses this guy slot. So I can either pick him or this guy. This guy gives me +1 veils. This one gives me +6 and also mirrors, although it decreases hearts. Let's go and pick this guy up. But that was unfortunate. It was not a good pick, if you ask me. Leave this place. What else can we do? The admirals, we can do anything. This is something I get confused about here in the Sunless Sea. The log is such a huge mess. I hope this was better organized. I'm just trying to do everything I can before leaving London. I know that I need to get my crew back. Where can I do that? I think it's here. Holy crap, did we fail that challenge? And we can no longer have that crew back? I think that was a thing. Yeah. I think we failed the challenge of sending my crew back here on the pirate ship. Damn it. Gotta say, this is one of the most unlucky games I've ever had of Sunless Sea right now. So I need some more crew, but it's now locked because we got this guy instead. This is pretty bad. So to go into the second level of speed, you need at least 5-man crew. If I lose one guy of my crew, I can no longer go into the highest speed. So what we want to do now, and this will be pretty risky because I'm low on crew, is going into the east. and try to find that place that the admirals asked me to explore. So let's go into the Shepherd Isles. I hope that's a good start. The only hint I have is east. It's the only thing. So let's go in there. Let's try and risk a little bit on this playthrough. And when you pass this line over here, this orange line, this is where the terror really starts kicking in, and where you find a lot of big monsters. Basically, I shouldn't be here. Should only come here when I have a better ship, more crew, and better guns. Because I don't want to fight these huge crabs over here. Fortunate, if you can get to the second speed level, they can never get to you if you're smart enough. Okay, we discovered Wolf's Rift. Let's try and get to this buoy. I should save the game over at this dock on these islands, but screw that. Not gonna save the game there. This anchor over here is a sign that you can't save the game in there, and there's a dock. I'm gonna risk as hell right now. I'm gonna go deep into the sea with no idea where I'm going to. Actually, terror was going down. I have no idea why. Because we are in deep shit right now. Okay, let's go. I've never been here. There seems to be an island down here, which should decrease the terror. Discovered Bornverde's Pillar. Okay. Here we are. Is there a dock? Sadly, no. I would want to save the game now. Come on, not even a dock? Alright, a different type of layout. The art style is pretty cool. I love it. And I love how everything feels hand-painted. There's a dock over there, so I need to get there. Gator's Moor. Where the hell did we want it to come to? I can't even remember anymore. Gator's Moor is exactly here. Perfect. Oh my god, this was so good. Let's dock in there then. Get that strategic intelligence report. Here's a buoy. And get back to London. And we will eventually finish the video there. The soundtrack really sounds cool as well. It sounds frightening and at the same time sailorish. It sounds really cool. I love it. So Gator's Moor. You always are encouraged, or I encourage you to read all this stuff, because there are some humor, there is some secrets and pretty cool things to read. I'm just not reading them here because I mostly know what they mean by this time. So, refuse to pay for information or pay the information. 5 echoes? Okay, that's pretty low. So now we have 1 strategic information. We have completed our commission, so we should get back to London. We can also try and spend an evening at Iron Limpet. I'm gonna spend 50 echoes, that's too much. Or we can explore the moor, go with that. Yada yada yada, oh shit, what? A crew of Shallonate hunters exchange heated insults with the Kennet privateer. It looks likely to end in blood. So we can leave, there's nothing to be gained here. We can raise your own flag, which is a pretty high risky thing, because we don't have some skills I would reckon we needed for this. We can side with the Kaganists, Kaganines, very challenging, or we can side with the Shelonians. And we have a higher chance to have something happening with this one, so I'm gonna pick this one. We now have one of this, a whalebone token. And we have succeeded. We needed the iron skill for this. I have 30, which is not that high, but it served me well. Another afternoon at the Iron Limpet. Oh shit, we've gained 1 terror. Well, that's a risk. I always try and extinguish all the stories I can do in a port. So we're pretty good on supplies and fuel, so I'm not gonna buy anything. Oh, look at that. That's a very powerful pirate, and we don't want to mess with that. Nor that one. Oh, shoot. Please tell me you cannot get to me. Shit. I'm gonna try and get to this buoy. Let's see where we're actually going. I'm gonna try and get to this buoy, this isle, and then that buoy. We want to discover the max we can while we're here. Okay, we already apparently discovered this one. I'm gonna try and launch my bats. Why not? Ah, shit, there's a pirate in there as well. But, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh lord. Oh, please, no. No. I'm gonna try and escape, because fighting these guys is a certain death. Ah, we failed. So that pretty much means we're dead. Oh, actually, they don't have too much of hull resistance. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Like this, okay. Flares are somewhat random. You can either get like 20 illumination from them, or 30, or 40. Seek is much more cautious and much more safe. Okay, let's see how we can go for. Okay, good. We're gonna keep shooting them like this, and they will keep increasing their illumination by shooting at me. So by the time I have 100, I will do the devastating salvo. But it seems I'm dead. I didn't want to meet these guys right now. Swim desperately. Sleep. No more. Choose a legacy to preserve something for your next captain. Preserve your chart, preserve an officer, or preserve a skill. I don't care. Let's preserve our chart, because that's the highest thing we have, I reckon. So in this playthrough, I gotta say I was pretty unlucky. This is the game just right through gets you to a new start. I had to export east, and that's one of the most challenging things you can do in Sunless Sea. Most of the times I get a mission to go into either to the north or to the south. That's the safest bet you can get. Sunless Sea was a game quick started again on October 2013, and it's coming out on July 1st on Steam on early access. This is, guys, an early access build, and there's not too much you can do. If you're very cautious, you can try and progress further into the Sunless Sea. Right now, I think they have put you a natural barrier which you cannot overcome because you don't have the echoes. You don't have the means to get higher resources to keep exploring the game. For me, it's a solid game right now, and it's a solid build, and it shows what the game can actually provide. It's a different type of a Don't Starve game. It's a Don't Starve in the sea. It's an exploration sailor game, and I love this type of games. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Sunless Sea, a first look into this game coming out on Steam on July 1st. I'll see you next time. Please comment, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.